So I've now come to the realization that I cannot drink caffeine for energy. What I mean by that is drinking soda, that's fine. But the second I drink enough coffee or an energy drink, instant anxiety attack. And it sucks because I like to think of myself as an extremely tired person. If you ask, how are you? Just expect, I'm tired. It was my thing in high school and even now. I'll come into work and greet my coworkers and they always ask how I'm doing. And it's either, I'm so tired or I'm exhausted. Both followed by the phrase, but I always am. And I've become a bigger fan of podcasts recently and listening to this one called Pretty Basic. They were talking about how mentally exhausted, burned out, and how much our mental health is worth to us. And while I don't think I'm burnt out, I'm almost 100% sure I'm mentally exhausted. Like, if you really think hard about how much you endure during the day, you can really surprise yourself. For example, I could say I go to work for 8 hours, add an additional 2 hours because I have to drive to and from work, and then when I get home, I go to sleep. Before work and during my days off, I'm working on my videos and other projects. Okay, I get why I'm tired. But once you add all the little irritants from your day, like I have to get ready and leave my house an hour before my shift every day and drive an extra hour after working a long shift, I'm already an anxious driver, so when I see a car who's approaching my back quickly, I panic and get really tense. And until they pass me up or back the F up, my heart is beating pretty fast. Also, I get nervous before actually walking into my shift because I'm nervous about what the day may bring. Speaking about my shift, I talk to like 100 strangers every day when I know I'm not the best at conversation, and then working hard enough to meet my manager's expectations. And then when I'm home, I stress about not having enough time to enjoy watching anime or being too tired that I skipped working out for 3 days. Those little mental things build up, and when you have those thoughts every single day with only a 2-day break in between, no wonder why I'm so mentally exhausted. And I didn't name all that so you would feel bad for me, but just reflecting on what stressors you experience can really explain your tiredness. That's why when my coworkers who aren't old but are older than me are like, why are you tired? You're still so young. I'm like, listen, they don't call our generation the most stressed and depressed generation for nothing. But anyways, that was quite the tangent. I meant to be talking about caffeine. I've never been a coffee person. I always thought it was too bitter for my liking. I'm that person who likes coffee with their cream and sugar. And I'm always sad that I'm not more of a coffee person because based on my earlier tangent, give me energy. And I don't know if it's placebo, but I feel like tea doesn't caffeinate me enough. I love tea and am definitely more of a tea person than a coffee person. Something about drinking soggy leaf water is delicious to me. But on the other side, if I drink something like a Red Bull or even a Celsius, it's too much for me. One time I drank a Celsius before work because I really needed energy to work my shift. But as I was driving, I noticed that my hands were much shakier and my heart was beating faster than normal. I just felt short of breath and needed to take a deep breath every couple minutes. And I'm already an anxious driver, so having an anxiety attack on top of it was a terrifying experience. I legitimately felt like if I wasn't paying close attention, I would have swerved into a different lane or completely off the road. After that happened, I spent my entire shift even more tired than I did before. I drank the energy drink, so no more of those, thanks. But give me all the tea you got. It's easily one of my favorite drinks. You can have it iced and hot, and I even like adding cream and sugar to my teas too. So why have a caffeine crash when I could just have a sugar rush instead? I mean, I'll just crash either way. Just kidding. Halfway. Because I would drink milk tea over coffee any day. So sugar rush and crash. And add mild stomach problems because milk and I'm Asian. If you know, you know. I want to do an experiment where I drink caffeinated tea before getting ready for bed to see if it does anything. I need to stay up anyways to get some work done, so it's fine. Now keep in mind, I work a night shift at work, so I can already stay up till 1 in the morning before feeling tired. So I wonder how long I can go with caffeinated tea. I just want to know if it's my mind that's forcing myself not to feel the caffeine. So I gotta do it when my mind is more open when I'm tired at night. I will not do this experiment with coffee though, because anxiety. There was actually this meme my coworker showed me when I told him I had an anxiety attack after drinking a Celsius. It basically said, me without caffeine, anxiety. Me with caffeine, anxiety but faster. Which is pretty accurate. And I know that caffeine isn't that good for the body, or I mean, an excessive amount isn't that good. But if you think about everything you're expected to do to have a fulfilling life, let's do the calculations real quick. And these are just estimates in general for shits and giggles, so don't take it too seriously. There's 24 hours in a day. 8 of those hours should be for sleeping. That leaves 16 hours, and translated to minutes is about 960 minutes. 30 minutes, which should be dedicated to actively working out, brings us down to 930 minutes. But don't forget to warm up and stretch, or you might hurt yourself, so add like 10 extra minutes for that, so 920, or about 15.3 hours. You work anywhere from like 8 to 12 hours, but we'll do 8 because that's the average. Some students go to school for like 8 hours and sometimes work for 4 hours too. And now you add small things like getting ready for work, having time for breakfast, commuting to and from work, and that leaves roughly 6-ish hours to have some time to socialize because it's health, but also not too much because of COVID. But you should also have hobbies and goals to keep you from getting burnt out. Still needing to eat the rest of your meals somewhere in between, but you shouldn't eat out because it's less healthy and expensive. So you take extra time to cook and or meal plan. Even on your days off, you eliminate the 8 to 12 hours of work, but you just replace it with things like doing laundry, grocery shopping, getting gas, cleaning the house. Like, what? We all have some right to be kind of tired. All I ask is that if someone says they're tired, acknowledge that they're tired. Don't go invalidating their tiredness by saying, you don't do much, all you do is stay home all day. Or, I work 8 jobs, so you don't know what tired is. My inner INFP says, just empathize. You work 8 jobs? I'm actively trying to reach my goals I set in January. I feel your tiredness. Alright, thanks for coming to my TED rant. Goodbye!